But I'll leave you on one last question. Top 5 corners right now in the NFL.
You know what? It's tough to actually try to pick people, top fives and all that. There are people that I like because they have certain attributes, but that attribute doesn't really put them maybe in that top five. And I think that's just something when people say, okay, top fives or who's the best, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Andre Agassi, John McEnroe, you know, they're all different. They're all different, but I understand it does bring up a good point of discussion. But I always felt like, I'm gonna give you my definition of what I look for, like in attributes or traits of a good corner. Cornerback, what I've learned is it's not about top end speed. It's not about the 40. It's not about the 40. Now, top end speed is the cherry on top. It's the whipped cream on top of the ice cream, but it's not the ice cream. Top end speed, the 40. The 40 helps if you get beat and you got to use your speed to get back in position. But how often does that happen? And I challenge people who are listening, who are going to watch this year, college football or professional football, I want you to count the number of times they just throw the ball deep. The receiver runs a 9 route. That's probably going to happen maybe once or twice during the game, maybe 3 times. Most of the routes happen from the line of scrimmage to 20 yards out. You got curls, slants, digs, post corners, nothing where you just truly see a receiver just flat out running down the field. That's why I say you probably only going to see 2 or 3 deep balls. So when I look at a cornerback, I look at the ability to come out the break, acceleration out the break, the ability to read the route progression of the receiver from the short to the intermediate to determine what those routes are. Hips, you got to have good hips. So if you got good hips, you got acceleration in and out of your breaks, and you can play the game mentally, then you can be a hell of a defensive back. So now going back to your question, there are a lot of guys that today I like them as far as their skills, but I don't think there's one guy that stands out above the others. I think they all are good in their own right. Now, I will say this, shutdown corner. People say, oh, he's a shutdown corner. I tell people I think shutdown corner went out the door when Deion Sanders retired. I'm like, that's the only dude that we all probably know of that if they put Deion on somebody, he could cover them and they may catch a pass, but he's going to get about 2 or 3 interceptions. He probably going to return one of them for a touchdown. But all the defensive backs today, they can get scored on. They can give up big plays. So when I hear the word shutdown means if I close my door, it's closed. You can't come in. It's shut. So I think there are a lot of good corners, great corners out there that have different skills that make them good. I've always liked defensive backs that can play inside and outside, left and right. And today I think you have corners that I only play this side, I only play that side. So Patrick Peterson, yeah, I know he's kind of like older now. I think Patrick Peterson may be with the Vikings now, but yeah, I like him, even though he's older, but going back to his younger days, Patrick could play inside and he could play outside. You know, nothing against nobody else. Ramsey, you know, I like his aggressiveness. I like his reach, but I'm pretty sure he would probably say himself that he can only do what he could do. Now, I say this in closing. I had a conversation with Champ Bailey. He and I had an opportunity to play together when I was with the Denver Broncos. You see their helmet back there. And we were just sitting on the sideline. And like I tell you, I got so many stories, man. But you know, there's a period where the offense is out on the practice field and they're doing their thing. And the defense, we were on the sideline just talking about whatever. So the question came up, what determines a great defensive back? And I like Champ's answer that he gave. He says a great corner is someone that can play great in any system. So I like that. I like that. Because you got some corners, they only zone corners. They only man corners. They only can play left side, only play right side. But a great corner can play anything. And that's why I like Rod Woodson. So now I can't say this right here now. I'll say if I had to choose between which corner do I think is the best all time, the top 5 today is kind of like hard. I think they all got different good skills. Any one of them could be number 1. It depends on what you're looking for. But if I could say the greatest cornerback of all times in my book, I love you, Dion. I love you, I love you, I love you, brother. But man, I had to check that box by the name of Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson, man, Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, Rod could play left, right. He plays slot. Rod could blitz. Rod could do all the things you want a defensive back to do. Plus, you can put him back there. He plays safety for you. So, to me, that is greatness.